Hello, happy Tuesday. It's Gwen, founder of Money Baby and author of the book Pivot to Purpose. And today I want to talk to you about 4 rules to retire rich. All right. So we all talk about this ideal of being rich, but that means something different to everybody, right? No matter what that number is, no matter what it means, there are 4 simple ways that you can set yourself up to retire rich. Let's talk about them. Let's break them down. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is to spend less than you make. Now, I know this sounds like, duh, Gwen. And yeah, I mean, in a way it is kind of a duh, but you guys, most of us are not doing that. Most Americans are not spending less than we make. And the hard part about that is we don't even know that because we haven't taken a dive into our finances to figure that out. We haven't peeled back the curtains a little bit to take a look and just kind of see what our expenses are and see what our income is. How do we know that we're spending less than we make? Well, we don't go into debt. Because if we're not spending less than we make, then we're going to go into debt, right? It means we probably don't have an emergency savings set up. It means we have credit cards that are either maxed out or there's multiple credit cards. We have loans out. There's all these things. And what so easily happens in life is that it just accumulates. And it's slow and it's one thing at a time. And you're like, oh, I could afford a $300 car payment, sure. And then you get a new phone. You're like, oh, well, I could just pay that over 12 months and afford, I don't know, $130 a month. Or, and it happens with subscriptions too. I can afford like $7.99 a month for Amazon Music and if we're not tracking our finances monthly, then we don't see how that starts to add up. So rule number 1 is just spend less than you make. Avoid debt if you can. I wish I had done this from the very beginning, but it's okay. We are where we are and we can learn from here. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is to start investing as early as you can. Time is your greatest weapon. It is the only commodity that we cannot get back. So if you can be active with your time and start as early as possible, this will pay off in the long run. Let me give you an example, okay? Let's say you have $250 a month, you are 18 years old, and you want to retire around 60. Okay, so you've got about 42 years to invest your money. If you only put $250 in an investment that returns about an 8% return rate per year, you're going to end up with $1 million. Now, $1 million is not the magic number, right? $1 million doesn't mean that you're going to be rich. $1 million doesn't mean like that will fund you for your retirement for the rest of your life. $1 million is arbitrary. Sure, it's a great goal to have $1 million in your investments, but if you don't actually know what you need to retire, $1 million is arbitrary. However, that's just an example. $250 for 42 years from the time that you're 18 to 60 yields you $1 million. I can't tell you how many people, when I go in with my clients and we peel back the layers on their investments and we peel back their debt and we peel back their subscriptions and everything that they're paying for, they thought they were living paycheck to paycheck. But in fact, we can find $250, $400, $500 or more that they didn't even know were there. Imagine being able to take $400 and put it on debt, $400 and put it into your investments. Imagine what that would look like for you right now, every single month, and where you would be in 10, 20, 30, 40 years, okay? Start investing early. Sure, we don't get time back. And say you're 40 and you've never invested before. It's still not too late. Start now, okay? That's number 2. And you know what? The great thing about number 2 is aligned with number 1. When you retire and you have been spending less than you've been making, you already know how to do that in retirement. So it keeps you on this track of not overspending. You'll be able to withdraw effectively from your retirements and spend exactly what you need and not anymore. Okay. Number 3 is know your numbers. I talked about this a little bit where I said, rich is like a term, but like, what does it actually mean? It's different for everyone. So what does it mean for you? What are your basic needs? What are your basic expenses and how much does that cost you a year? What do you want to do in retirement? What do you dream of doing in retirement? How can you leave a legacy and an impact in retirement? All of those things have financial numbers that you need to know and understand in order to know, what number do I need to reach in order for me to retire rich? And that's your number, which is different than anybody else's number. You've got to know your numbers. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4 is make it automatic. Make your life easy, you guys. No one wants to have to make sure that their investments are going in, that their debt's paid off. Like, everything can be automatic. You can save automatically. You can set up your bank account to withdraw from your checking to have a savings bucket. Like, you can set up your investments to go in automatically. Make it automatic so that it's consistent over time and you barely even have to think about it. Sure, there's a little bit more work on the beginning end, but soon you'll coast and it will be easy peasy for the rest of your life. Have a plan for your money every single month. How much do you need to go to necessities? How much do you need towards debt? How much towards investments? And how much are you putting towards fun? Have a plan for your money and make it automatic. And the last thing I wanted to say is that, remember, it's not about the dollar amount that you make. It doesn't matter if you make $50,000 or $100,000. It's all about how much you save, how much you invest in you in your future. I told you, most of my clients, we find an extra $250, $400, $500 in their finances that they didn't even know was there, that they were just spending because they didn't have a plan for their money. This is how we work together in Money Baby. Imagine having that money to invest every month or to decrease your debt quickly. We dive into a simple way to break down how much you'll actually need in retirement, which, by the way, is different for everyone, right? And that allows you not only to cover basic needs, but to live out your dreams and to give in retirement. Because when it all comes down to it, we're supposed to live our life in retirement, right? It's not supposed to be scrappy. We're not supposed to feel like we have to hold on to our money and hoard it because we're not sure if we're going to have enough. This is a way to free yourself to create an effortless financial plan. Investing comes easy and have stress-free finances. Okay? If you're ready for that, let's have a conversation. Drop me a message. Let's see if Money Baby is a fit for you. I can only take 5 people into Money Baby this month. So if you are curious about advancing your financial knowledge, about gaining clarity and feeling less stressful about you and your future money goals, drop me a message and let's have a conversation. I love you guys. Happy Tuesday, happy first of the month, and I'll catch you later.